All right, folks, welcome to Hunting the Rut Hotline with Don Bell. It is Thursday night, and it is time to talk about hunting the rut. Guys, don't have to remind all of you guys out there, Steve, up there in the Midwest, they dead smack in the middle of it.
Oh, they hitting it hard right now.
I'm telling you, and listen, and all of you with all that cold weather up there, you ought to just be having deer just running everywhere. And hey, call us tonight. Let us know what you're seeing out there, because we're down here and you up there. And wouldn't we like to be up there?
Oh, we'd like to be.
Man, we'd
there.
like to be up there with you, but we're not. We're here, and we're glad to be here. We're here every Thursday night, Steve, and it's Hunting the Rut Live. Guys, this show is all about you, and it's as relevant as the last conversation. Hey, and we appreciate it, guys. This show's growing each week. We appreciate the call-ins, man, all the Facebook questions, the live callers.
Keep coming.
And listen, you guys listening tonight, pay attention. Steve, they're calling in from everywhere. And we want you to do that. So, folks, stay tuned. Steve, in just a second, we're going to kick this bad boy off. And we're going to be back in just a moment. We're going to go to a quick commercial. When we come back, we're going to talk to you about hunting the rut live. Be back in just one moment.
Rise and shine. It's time to hunt.
All right, guys, we're back. It's Thursday night. First of all, let us start off tonight, Steve. What we need to do tonight is kind of remind folks. We said it just a minute ago in jest, but it is peak of the rut in the Midwest. And it's cold up there, and guys, you're in the middle of it. And, you know, the peak of the rut being up here in the Midwest, we missed it by about, man.
We're right on the front end of it.
Maybe a week.
You think it's kind of on the back end of it now?
Yeah, what's today? Yep. So, yeah. So you're getting in on the tail end of the peak of the rut up there. But and guys, what you want to do up there in the Midwest, we got up there just when they started kind of thinking about chasing. We didn't get there right cruising, and so. But you guys up there now ought to be seeing these bucks run these does, and the peak of the rut, really and truly, they are in dead center or just on the back end of that. But look, you still want to be using estrus all the way through, and because all them does, the peak, guys, remember in this show, the peak is being when the majority of the does are standing. So you're going to have does come back in. That didn't get bred, it's going to come back in. So you want to ride that thing all the way out to the end there. So as we go into the show tonight, even though we're talking prime time peak of the rut in the Midwest, here we are sitting down here in the Southeast.
I'm not even thinking about it.
Not even thinking about it. I mean, there ain't nobody. Ain't nobody even thinking about getting dressed to go to a prom to chase a doe, because ain't no does even thinking about getting dressed to go to the prom. So, but what we are having, we're listening to you, and you know we're enjoying the peak of the rut, sitting down here knowing you're doing it. And so, guys, tail end of the peak of the rut in the Midwest. You can almost, Steve, follow the peak of the rut like a sliding board.
Yeah.
You start in the north and it slides south. In the north, especially the Midwest, it's very pronounced. Bang. It happens, then it's over with.
Yeah.
The further you come south, it's more, ebbs and flows, and it's longer. I mean, we're down here in Alabama, and of course, we're in Pensacola tonight, but Florida's had all the way through February, the end of February?
Just about the end of February it goes in Florida.
And see, and we both hunt Alabama and have for years, most of our lives, if not all of our life. And the peak of the rut in Alabama, most people would tell you it's, the third, fourth week in January. But that's only because we couldn't hunt no later than that. Past couple of years, they've extended the season. Really and truly, probably in Alabama, the peak of the rut's more like the first, second week in February, if you just really want to get down and dirty about it. But right now, it's on where you are up there in the Midwest, and we want to hear from you tonight. And you'll hear from people, some other thinking about, well, it's coming my way. What do we need to do?
We'd like to be back up there with you.
You got that right. I tell you what, I think we got us a caller on the phone. Tom, we got a caller? All righty. Let's see who we got here. Gino? Don Bell and Steve, what you got? Is this Gino?
Yes, this is Gino.
Gino, where you from?
Hey, I'm from West Middlesex, Pennsylvania.
Oh, what county are you in?
I'm in Mercer County. It's right on
Mercer.
the PA-Ohio border. It's probably
Ooh.
about 25 miles north of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you in a good place. You ever get down there and hunt Ohio any?
I haven't had a chance to get into Ohio much. I've heard that there's been a lot of success out there.
Yeah.
For archery, but action's been just as good right over the border in PA. So I'm excited to talk about it a little bit.
You bet. Well, Gino, are you from PA originally?
I am.
So you grew up there.
Born and raised in West Middlesex, so in Mercer County my entire life.
Well, you're blessed to have a few hunters up there, aren't you?
Oh yeah, one or two I run into every once in a while, but it's pretty cool.
You've been blessed for a number of years to have, a million one plus hunters. You've topped the charts for having the most hunters in America in any one state, and probably most of them hunt the opening day of gun season, don't they?
Oh yeah, vast majority
Looks like a
of
pumpkin
hunters,
patch.
I mean, in terms
It does.
of
I'm serious.
Yeah, you see them on opening day all over the place. They're more numerous than the deer themselves half the time.
It is something else. Well, Gino, what kind of question you got tonight?
Well, I actually have a little story I'd like to
All
share.
right, put it on us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is about hunting archery just a couple weeks ago, and this is my first experience I've ever had with Top Secret. And I thought it's a pretty interesting story, and I figured I'd take a few minutes to share with you guys.
All right, put it on us.
Awesome.
Minutes.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so last Thursday, up here in Western PA, it was one of the best days we had for the rut up here in terms of weather. There was no wind. It was a northerly wind, so the wind was cool itself, so the deer were up and they were on their feet all morning long. And I actually had a run-in that morning with one of the biggest colossus deer I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's a good thing to do.
12
But,
point? Wow.
He was a 12-point?
Big old 12-point, yep. Perfect typical.
Why
The
can't I do
T3s were actually forked, so it had a little bit of character to it, but it was a beautiful deer, biggest deer I've ever seen. And I grunted him right in like I was calling my dog across the field. He came in right underneath me, but he came right at me head on all the way into my stand. I actually never got a shot off at him because
He was on you so quick. Did he come in quick on you?
Oh yeah, he came in running.
So
He came in running.
Must
He,
be archery hunting then, right?
You are archery?
Yeah, this is archery.
Yeah,
This is archery right now. And I called him in. I was actually using a mad buck growl as a grunt, and he came right in. He ran right past me, and he went about 30 yards behind me, and he made a scrape, or he had checked the scrape that he had already been at. So I went, this is about 10 o'clock in the morning, and I go inside. I'm a student, actually. I'm a college student up here. There's a small private liberal arts school, Westminster College, right up the street from me. So I actually had to go in about 5 minutes after this deer left the area because I had to go to class.
And try to pay attention to what you're supposed to be paying attention to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gotta do what you gotta do, but nonetheless, if I would have had a big buck down, class would have had to have waited a couple minutes. But I get inside and I tell my mom the story. Actually, she's inside and she's I'm pretty upset. I mean, this is the deer of a lifetime. I'll never see a buck like this again in my life. And I go to school for an hour and I come back and and my mom deserves the Best Mom of the Year award, potentially, because I get home and sitting on the kitchen table is a bottle of Top Secret doe urine foam.
There you are. Estrus or buck? What was it?
What's that?
Was it regular doe urine or estrus?
It was the doe urine.
Yep.
Doe urine foam. And
Sweet lady.
my mom's standing there in the kitchen, and she just says, "Go get him." So I couldn't help but I would drop my stuff. I got my camo on. I went back out there. I sprayed the foam on my boots when I walked into the stand. Granted, when I got home, it was 3:30, so I only had about 2 hours of light. And I got out to the stand, and I saw there was some deer activity still. I saw some does, some small bucks. I never did see the big one, though. Now, I walked in to the stand with the spray on my boots, and I actually went over to the scrape. Then I saw the big buck check, and I dropped it down in the scrape, and I hit the stick that he had sniffed right above it.
Right.
And I walked back in to the house that night on the same trail I walked in, and it was snowing just a hair when I was leaving the stand, so I could actually see my footprints the next morning when I went out hunting. So when I went out the next morning, there's a little bit of snow on the ground, and I thought the whole deer herd in the entire area had bedded down on my footsteps walking into the woods. It looked like these big, giant areas of melted snow. Turns out it was about 8 scrapes made on this trail that I had walked with the top secret on my feet. He made 8 scrapes in about a 120-yard walk.
He had a big master bedroom, didn't he?
Wow.
Someone meant business. Someone meant business. And I walked back past one of the trail cameras, which is on the path to my stand. And I pulled the card out, and I had a little viewer. I have a memory card viewer with me, and I checked it out. It was that monster buck. He came back that night and just tore up the property on this top secret. He came back after night, about 15 minutes after I got out of the stand that night, and he just went crazy.
Well, he will. They will do that. Did you get him?
I haven't got him yet, but what I do have him on is every single trail camera I have up for the last 5 days since that hunt. That deer has stationed himself onto my property.
Well, listen, all you got, what you want to do, Gino, you want to go back in there, put the scent back in there. You can go into one of those scrapes as close as you're hunting out of a tree.
Yeah, I'm hunting out of a tree stand.
Go in as close as you can get to your stand where you got a good shot. Even if the scrape's not close to your stand, Stephen, just go in and make him one, just like you did going in.
Great.
Is there a scrape close to your stand?
Oh, there are 3 scrapes within about 40 yards of my stand. The closest being about 15 yards.
All right, I'd take that one, the closest one. If whatever you're comfortable and confident in your shot, I'd go in there and I'd doctor that bad boy up. And I'd tell you something else. It wouldn't hurt as you go in, is also try you some buck urine and put your buck urine in that scrape, or the mock scrape even. At this point, he's checking it. He's there. And you really want to light him up. Put you some buck urine in that scrape, and he'll have a conniption fit. That's bad.
Right.
I mean, a conniption fit, that's bad. And what he'll do is he'll widen it, and it'll get deeper and bigger. And it's like coming home smelling Old Spice and get you a grunt and bump that grunt call. But you put that buck urine in there, so he's smelling Old Spice. So here's what we want you to do, Gino. When you go hunt it again, you go hunt it this weekend?
There's actually a week lapse between now and rifle season. So I have till next Monday before rifle breaks open.
Tell you what, here's what I want you to do. You get you some buck urine, take that urine that you have, go in, open that scrape up, do like I'm talking to you about, get up in the tree and grunt, and call us back when season is over with. Call us back and tell us what happened what happened with that deer, and we'll put you back on, and you let all the viewers hear what you did.
We'd love to see that big.
Sounds like a deal.
And hey, by all means, everybody, when you kill these deer, and guys, listen, because we're fixing to go to the next caller, but Gino, listen, send us a photograph. All you got to do, guys, Steve, all you got to do is go to Facebook.
Oh, yeah. We'd love to see a picture of that big boy on the ground.
And guys, go look at Facebook. Look at the bucks these people are killing with this stuff all over the country. It's not complicated. No oxygen. Dark urine says the deer was there. Clear yellow urine says the deer is there. That's why he's following you out like he's doing there, Gino. So look, stay with him and tell your mom you got a great mom.
That's a great story.
Hey, by the way, guess what would be a good gift for Gino for Christmas? Hey, you need to join the club, big boy. Get you a bottle of reserve. Tell mom it makes a great Christmas gift. Hey, and I'm serious with that. Tell her to check it out. Because we're already taking orders for 15, Gino. Everybody, we're already taking orders for 2015. You can actually go to the website, hit the club page, and you can actually order your reserve, Gino. over 4 payments and say, hey, ship it next year. So it's pretty neat. So I am serious, you can actually order it for next year, and it really does. Tell your mom it does make a good Christmas gift. Hey, send us a photograph when you kill him. In fact, call me and tell me, and then send us a photograph. We'll put you back up. We'll put you back on the show.
All right. Sounds
All right.
pretty good, man.
Thank you, Gino.
Thank you.
Tell your mom thank you.
I've told her thank you once or twice. But thank you guys. This is a great opportunity. I'm hopefully I can come back to you with some success.
Do it, man.
We hope you do.
Send it to us. Thank you,
right.
Gino. Appreciate it. All right, I believe we got another caller. All right, doggone, we
here we
clicked
go.
along tonight, ain't
Who
we?
we got here?
Who we got here? You got Don Bell and Steve. What you got? Who we got?
Mr. Bell, my name's Larry Jackson. I'm in southern West Virginia.
West Virginia.
I've got a question. The deer have seemed like they've just stopped moving. I'm hunting a ridge line, and I've had pictures of these deer, and I've saw some of these deer. They've made, real big scrapes, rubs, and for the last week or so, all the movement has just about stopped. I've not saw any, and I've got just a few small bucks and a couple of does on my trail cam, and they're coming through about middle of the day.
Are you bow hunting?
Yeah.
What kind of pressure you got on the property? You got very.
There's not any pressure other than me hunting them.
All right.
I'm right on top of a ridge line, and it's real steep down both sides.
Let me ask you a question, Larry. Are you in talking to other people, either around where you're hunting, even if they're not literally connecting to you, are they seeing deer, or are they experiencing the same thing?
The few people that I've talked to seem to be experiencing the same.
Yeah, and look, I'd love to tell you that I got an answer for that tonight. I'd be lying to you. But I can tell you what, you're not by yourself, dog.
It happens in December right here in Alabama and Florida.
And about,
We call it the December lull.
10, 15 years ago, growing up, we didn't have that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, just like Steve's talking about here in even Alabama, Florida, about Christmas time, there's a period in December for a couple of weeks there, tracks everywhere. Larry, are you seeing tracks? You're seeing the activity, you're just not seeing the movement?
I'm not really even seeing tracks where I'm at. I'm hunting a gas line. It's an old gas line right of way, which is pretty much growed up. And whenever I first started hunting this particular spot back a couple of weeks ago, there was, it was just riddled. It looked like cattle had been in there.
Yeah.
But now there's not really any fresh sign at all.
Well, if you're hunting, West Virginia, everybody hunts the ridge lines. Because everything else is this way, up and down. What's either side of you? How long is that ridge line? In other words, what you're hunting, how long is it?
The area that I'm hunting, it's probably 50 yards wide, probably 200 yards long.
What's the deer going to or coming from? In other words, is the deer on you or coming off of somebody else going to somebody else?
They're coming off of someone else going somewhere else.
Okay. Well, I don't think it's anything Larry's doing. It's just Larry. Sometimes, and if you notice, it's not just bucks. It's just deer in general.
Yeah.
It's
What's the rut like? Is it pretty much over right there? Or?
well, we're up here in West Virginia. What county are you in?
I'm in Wyoming County.
Where is that in relation to Wheeling?
I am in the extreme southern part of West Virginia.
Okay. You typically start seeing bucks chase does. When do you start typically seeing bucks chase does there?
I saw them chasing, it's been close to 2 weeks ago now.
Really?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago? Well, let me tell you, when you see, we talk about, if you heard the beginning of the show, the peak of the rut's wide open up there. But as you go in the northeast up there, you're going to have some does kind of come in, and you may see some stringlers come along. And was it a good buck or a young buck?
The bucks that I've been seeing are young.
Well, the buck you saw, the buck you saw aggravating the doe, was that a young buck or?
Yeah, he was pretty young.
Yeah,
I'd say 2.5.
he could just be flirting. I mean, not necessarily that she's in. He just goes, So, but you're not into the complete peak of the rut up there. You're getting to it, but to answer your question, Larry, them just shutting down like that, sometimes they do.
They do that. They bust wide open.
That's right, and then they could turn right around and bust open the next day and be clicking on down the road. Now, unfortunately, down here where we are, them rascals will shut down for a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
2-3
almost a
weeks.
month.
Yeah. It happens down here. We don't know. But opposite of what you're saying, we see a lot of track. I mean, we just see, you see plenty of activity, you're just not seeing the deer move. It's just like the nighttime
movement or
yeah. And not necessarily because of pressure, just like you're saying, you're hunting your piece of property there. But I'd watch it because at any time, it's like flipping a light switch, and it'd be. Have you hunted this same area for a number of years?
No, this is actually the first year that I've hunted this particular spot.
Yeah.
I was just in there scouting a few weeks ago, and I've got some trees that's probably close to 12 inches diameter that a buck has just absolutely tore up.
Well, are you using any kind of deer scent in there?
I've got some buck pea that's in a scent bomb that I hang.
Yep.
I've tried rattling, and I've tried.
Well, let me tell you. I don't know if you're familiar with Top Secret, but Top Secret that's who sponsors the show here. And what Top Secret is single urine, no oxygen. And it's a game changer. We've been in the industry nearly 30 years, and Bottle Tank started Code Blue. And this Top Secret is just a whole different level. It's changing the scent industry, Steve, because no oxygen. And it's clear yellow, which means, look, Larry, dark urine, clear yellow urine says a deer is there. Dark urine says a deer was there. Don't tell me whose company, what scent brand that you're using, but when you open it, if you were to open it up and pour it out, what color is it? Brown. And folks, this is a live show, so he could have said whatever. And the reason he says it's brown is because that's what other scent companies do. What they have, Larry, is either a blend or Top Secret, but either way, it's oxygen. It's ammoniated, which means it turns it brown, which says there was a deer there. He's not there now. There was one, but he's not there now. Top Secret, I don't know if you can see this, but Top Secret, if you can't see it, can you see this as I'm doing this live to you, Larry?
Yes.
Okay, you see that bottle I'm pointing there? You see the color of it? It's yellow.
Uh-huh.
The reason for it's never seen oxygen. If I were to open that and close it and set it down, tomorrow it'd be brown because there's oxygen. So when you open this for the first time and pour it out, that says there's a deer there now versus there was a deer. So, and we have that in estrus, we have it in buck, and we also have it in foam. And so the foam, you can actually walk in and foam it along. But in your case, where you are up there right now this time of year, I'd get you some buck urine, foaming in, going in.
Absolutely.
And Steve, once like right now, Larry, do that now. You take it and just kind of foaming in, going in. You can just, every 15, 20 yards, drop it in. Get up and grunt. You said you used a grunt call, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and Larry, I did the buck foam, Alabama. I did it the very opening day of the season, and we're not seeing many deer up in Alabama. Nothing like we were last year. They're not moving that well. Killed an 8-point the very first morning. He come in there with a buck urine trying to see who the new kid on the block was.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I would have seen him, but I think it got him up.
Yeah, bucks are running in bachelor groups then, and I bet you, Larry, we're fixing to get into this next segment, but Larry, how many, have you seen more than one buck run together this year? How many bucks, have you seen any two?
The bucks are running alone.
Okay.
the gas line that I'm hunting, the ridge top where the gas line is, it's about,
And it wouldn't be
from where
this
I
time of
started
year up
in
there
to
right
where
now.
I'm hunting is about a mile long. And the big rubs and stuff from, I'm guessing, the big deer are kind of when you first start in, but there's really no trails or no tracks or anything around those rubs. Those rubs are just kind of there by themselves. And as you get on deeper into this piece of property, that's where I'm seeing the smaller bucks and all the trails and tracks.
Yeah.
And I'm
But those
kinda
scrapes,
thinking that
yeah, those scrapes is where you want. Go ahead.
I'm kind of thinking that big buck is staying there in the,
That's right.
the start of the property and keeping all those smaller bucks run back.
That's exactly what he's doing. And, you know, so that's what I'm tell you. That's where you want to concentrate on is there around those scrapes. Try you some buck urine like Steve's talking about. Take that foam. You can actually take this and just kind of foam it as you walk in. And once he starts chasing does, see that, Larry? This is buck. This is estrus. So you can, let's say you're walking down that ridge. You foam buck urine, 15, 20 yards, foam estrus, buck, estrus, buck, estrus, just rotated as you're walking in. You got a buck chasing a doe. So, and when you grunt, that's what you're saying. Hey, listen, try that and call us back and let us know what you've done. You ought to be getting there pretty quick. So call us back and let us know how you've done up there. And your bow season goes through when?
The end of December.
Oh, wow.
You bow hunt all the way? Do you gun hunt up there too?
No, I'm staying with bow hunting this
All right.
season.
That boy.
Tell us what happens. And look, you ought to be able to have a dealer up there near you that has top secret, and for some reason you don't. All you got to do is hit the website, go to topsecretdeerscent.com, and you can order your product that you need. But call us back, send us a photograph of this old buck that you're looking at, and call us back, and we'd love to talk to you again.
We'll put him on Facebook.
There you go.
We'd love to.
Hey, man, Larry, appreciate you calling in.
I appreciate you.
You bet. Thank you, sir. Tell everybody about the show.
I sure will. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, sir. All righty. I'm sorry about that, Larry, if I cut you off, big dog. All right, I believe we fixed to take a quick commercial break.
Yeah.
We get back, we'll do it all over again. Folks, we'll be right back in just one moment.
Rise and shine. It's time to hunt.
All righty, folks, we're back. It's Thursday night at 7 o'clock. It's time to talk about hunting the rut. And we talking to everybody, ain't we, Steve? Hey,
All over the place.
It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, we've talked to somebody from Washington,
West Virginia.
West Virginia, Pennsylvania. And let's see here. We'll take some Facebook questions. What we got here tonight?
All right, we got Chris Wyatt from Henryville, Indiana. And he asks, which type of deer urine should I pour into my mock scrapes to get the best results?
Let's see here. He's up in Indiana. Not that it matters if you're in Indiana. If you're in Alabama, it makes no difference. When you're doing a mock scrape, typically mock is going to be early season, pre-rut. And the only reason I say that's typically when you do it, Chris, is because there are no scrapes and you're trying to get activity in there. But you want to use buck urine in it. Guys, you hear us preach this on this show. Listen to what we're preaching to you. It's the gospel. Everybody knows, Steve, to use estrus. And they need to be using buck urine when?
Oh, early season, from the day it starts.
Day one all the way through to the end.
That's right.
And here's why, Chris. Steve, if he makes that mock scrape in pre-rut, all right, and you do it, that's showing, and look, he may put a scrape up there where he saw scrapes last year. Good place to put one this year. Hey, if you're walking a tree line or along the edge of the field and you think, man, there ought to be a scrape here, and there's not any scrapes, make you a scrape, Chris. Just don't use your foot, get a limb, rake it out the leaves, put you some buck urine in it, and if you really want to screw with them, do an overhanging limb, put your little stuff on that and put you some estrus in it. You got a primary scrape underneath an overhanging limb. But listen, Chris, you also can make a mock scrape even into any time of the year, even after he starts making primary scrapes. If you just heard this caller before, what was the young boy's name? Gino.
Gino, yeah.
Man, this buck was making scrapes on top of where he walked in. And so even if it's a primary scrape, you make a mock scrape around it, which tells him, hey, there's another buck in my bedroom, and look what he's doing. So to answer your question, Steve, he needs to use buck urine. Everybody, buck urine, opening day of bow season, all the way through season, gun season, and it does not matter, Steve, what part of the country they're in.
It worked for me in the opening day in Alabama, so I know.
Every day of the year. That's right. Yeah. Every day of the season. Who else we got?
All right, we got Elbert Carpenter from Shelby, North Carolina. Why do whitetail travel routes change so dramatically during the peak of the rut?
Well, there's probably a white-tailed deer is probably one of the most habitual animals there are. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's going, first of all, and I know this is going to sound crazy to people, but now doggone it, it's true. And it's a buck, white-tailed deer, especially bucks, can be lazy. Mm-hmm. And I know you're thinking, well, that deer jump over, he'll jump over your truck. Mm-hmm. But a buck, you know, any deer, but a buck wants to do the same thing every time till pressure makes him change that. Mm-hmm. So during the peak of the rut, what makes him change that is that he's now following the doe. Mm-hmm. And the doe is going everywhere because the doe's just trying to stay away from the buck. And so what happens is your doe in your master bedroom in his primary scrape, he leaves here and he goes over into that bedroom. And next thing you know, I'm following her over there, and that guy don't like it. Mm-hmm. So he and I, we're in a fight, and meanwhile we're fighting, somebody else is over in the bedroom from the other house, and it's just a mess. And so what happens is does are just running everywhere and bucks are chasing them like they ain't got no better sense. And they don't. I mean, and
that just takes them right off their normal travel.
That's right.
They're not even thinking about it.
No, they're just going.
Yeah.
And so the best thing to do is in the peak of the rut is just get up where you can see good. If you're hunting them scrapes, get up high where you can see, and you shoot one on there. Don't stop. If it's a good area, it's a good area. So to answer your question is, they change those routes during the peak of the rut because they're chasing those dang does. Mm-hmm. Peak being when the majority of the does are standing. Right. I think they said we got a call. We got us a call. All right, let's see who we got here. All right, you got Don and Steve. Who we got? All right, folks, it's live. We're gonna try it again. All right, we're gonna try it again here. Nope, we got something else right there. We're gonna hang that up. All righty. Well, heck, we got it, guys? Not sure? All right, we're going to go back to our Facebook question. That's why it's a live show.
That's right.
Who we got?
We got Ben from Aconto, Wisconsin. What part of the rut do estrus scents work best?
Well, you answered your question. What part of the rut does estrus scents work best? Ben, you good, dog, because you just answered your question. Estrus does during the, well, I back up. I correct myself, because he's saying during the rut. You're asking I think what he's asking is peak of the rut, which is estrus. Peak of the rut being when the majority of the does are standing. Steve, it's real important that people remember that the word estrus means an animal will stand and not run. And so, Ben, what you're talking about the rut, he's probably talking about the peak. Mm-hmm. But if you're talking about the rut, Ben, from the time a buck sheds his velvet to the time he drops his antlers, which is the entire season, in Wisconsin, that's a fine place to hunt too. Ooh, I'm telling you, there's some big dogs up there and been coming out of there a long time. You know, Buffalo County, Wisconsin, man, and I'm not sure where Aconto is, but fine part of the world to do deer hunting in. So, Ben, to answer your question, during the peak of the rut, absolutely estrus, but Ben, use buck urine with it, because if you grunt, you're putting a deer downwind. Grunting is an infringement. Hey, Ben, if you rattle, especially up there in Wisconsin, you're in a county that can do that, put buck urine with it, Ben, and use that all season.
Yeah, you'll kill that old biggin.
And a grunty man, guys, use the buck urine with it. All right.
We got our phone back.
We think we got a phone call back. All right, let's see who we got on the line here. There we go. We got that bad boy ringing. All right, you got Don and Steve on the line. Who we got?
Don, hey, this is Michael Parker in South Carolina.
Michael, how
All
you doing, man?
I'm fantastic, actually.
All right. Well, that's a good way to be.
Yeah. I've got a bit of a dilemma.
All right.
I got one buck that I've been chasing for a while, and he has changed his bedding area, and now he's gone into a section of the woods that's actually a sanctuary. And the peak of the rut's passed. You know, they're still running around doing their thing and this and that, but I got pictures of them night before last with him and about 3 or 4 other 3.5-year-old bucks running with him. You know, and they still kind of spar and touch each other, push each other around, but he's still king of the hill.
Yeah.
But come 4 a.m., he's making his way back. And he's only, I mean, where he's coming and going at, the whole travel out of this sanctuary is maybe a half a mile. And so 4 a.m., you can tell in the camera that's where he's going.
Oh, you mean he's coming off of you going to the reserve, right?
Right.
Is that what you're
Going back to
saying?
the sanctuary.
Yep. And they are tearing up the corn at night. I mean, just like,
Well, let me
if
ask
I
you.
hadn't had a camera on it, I think it'd been hogs eating it.
Well, you got some hogs in South Carolina too. Let me ask you a question now, to where all the viewers can know. Are you in the southern and the northern zone?
I'm in southern. I'm
Your season-
coastal, really, like
Yeah, your season coming around.
Berkeley County. I'm right outside of Charleston.
Yeah, you come in August 15th then.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And what I don't know if most hunters know this, Steve, but old Mike here, he's blessed to be. He's the first state that comes in America. Mm-hmm. If you want to kill a buck in velvet, you know where you go? You go to South Carolina, and there he is. As a matter of fact, look at there. That's one of your bucks, isn't it, Mike?
Yes, sir.
And that's the one. Well, he's in the back of the truck, but see him in velvet. Yeah. And when'd you kill him?
I killed him, I think, the first week of September.
Yeah, because see, when
He's 208 pounds, actually.
And that's a good buck for South Carolina now.
Yes, sir.
But you know, bucks are in velvet. You're the exception to what we're saying. Almost everywhere, Steve, in North America, when season comes in.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah. So here in South Carolina, they're still in velvet. But to answer your question is, he's traveling now, and we're talking about now this week. I mean, we're talking about current, right? I see.
Yes, sir. I'm talking about like today, yesterday.
All right. And I think there's another buck on the screen there. That's a nice buck there. That's a South Carolina buck too?
Yes, sir. It's the one with, I'm a little bit behind on the thing we had paused earlier.
No, yeah, that's
the one with me and my little boy.
No, this is the one. This is the one that's not in velvet on the back of the truck. I think we got one with you and your son.
That was the one with my little. That one right there. The one that's in the back of the truck. The 8-point with the broken off G3.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
He was actually cruising, looking. He wasn't chasing. He was cruising. It was right there, just past the peak of the rut.
Yep.
But the one that I got with my boy in the picture, that was peak of the rut. It was on. There was bucks chasing does everywhere. And I've been taking pictures of that buck for 2 years nocturnally. And I finally cut him off, and he wasn't 15 steps behind a big doe.
Mike, you bow hunting?
I mean,
or you gun hunting a bow?
All my deer have been with a gun. Now, majority of deer that I've killed has been on the ground with a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
And here in the last few weeks, since I've had this banner year, I've decided, you know what? I'm going to finish up this year with my bow. Mm-hmm. So it's taken me on a whole new level.
Well, yeah, I'd say, but based on the photographs, you've had a pretty good year.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
that's good.
He needs to pull that buck from going into that sanctuary.
Yeah, you know, is the sanctuary, are you having a lot of pressure putting him in a sanctuary, or is just, that's no man's land and that's a safe spot for him to go to?
It's a swamp. It's called Four Hole Swamp, and it is immense, full of just some of the most beautiful oak hills and everything else.
And around
and we got dog hunting in the area, which does not help things at all.
Yeah.
but there's no dog hunting pressure up on the hill on our side much.
Do you have many dogs coming through? They'll run the deer through you?
Every now and then, yeah.
But that's not
It's not like it was 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, look, if you're on the tail end of the peak of the rut, even just like we were saying a few minutes ago, you know, they're in the peak up there in the Midwest, but even if you're on the tail end of the peak, there's still does that either
coming into the next cycle.
Right. They either didn't get bred and they're recycling, so you still gonna have some of that. And in fact, Mike, what you got is that could be more dramatic because see, if this is the peak, if you can see my hands, if this is the peak of the rut, just before the peak, there's competition because there's only a few in. During the peak, heck, why you want to fight? They're standing around everywhere. Hey, you want that? And I'll give you this one. I'll go get them 10. So I ain't got time to fight. I got does to take care of. So in the tail end, which is where you are, then you've got few again, and there's competition for those again. So you can still do that in your favor. And I'm telling you, Mike, do you use buck urine?
I have in the past, you know, whenever I was a younger lad, and
do you use any scent? Do you use any deer scent at all?
No, sir, not much. The only scent I've used in the last few years is I got some of your stuff from a friend of mine, and I put it out last night, and I put it out at the base of my stand. I was bow hunting, and I used it basically as a jammer, and I had two does literally 10 yards from me downwind, and they never even jumped, spooked, nothing. They sat right there.
Well, the way to look at it...
For the most part, I try and stay invisible.
Well, listen, and so, yeah, you want to be invisible. But, guys, look, everybody, not just Mike, but everybody's listening. Steve, Mike, there's nothing any more natural than urine. Deer live. This is what I try to tell hunters all over the country. And if you think about it, it's just natural. Deer urinate 365 days a year. Right now, there's deer urinating in the woods as we're talking. Now, what that does, it tells the other deer how long it's been since that deer was there. Because deer communicate with urine. And so what Top Secret does is we have, Steve, deer from single urine, but no
oxygen, pulling it out.
Yeah, no oxygen. So it means the deer is there right now versus the deer was there. So give you an example, Steve, if he took buck urine and went in there with it, how far is it from the swamp to where you're hunting? He said about a mile.
Yeah, I can literally be on the edge of it.
So
my property goes to the property line of it.
All right. Your season goes out when?
January 1.
Oh,
The duck season comes in this week.
All right. Well, look then.
So
well, all right. Now look. Now I know I'm talking to somebody, guys, that's already killed 3 nice bucks this year, but I'd go. You're sort of like the caller just a few minutes ago. Wasn't Gino? It was the other gentleman that had the scrapes on one end.
Oh yeah.
Why don't you do this? Get you some buck urine and go into. Do you have any scrapes down there near the swamp?
Yeah, I mean they're tearing the whole place up, but they were really active about a week ago. They kept them clean and everything else, and then the last week, everything shut down and all those bucks partnered back up.
That's all right.
You know, they were.
Well, look here.
Just him, but now they're all kind of running together.
Yeah.
Which is
on the tail end.
A little bit early.
Well, yeah, and you're right. On the tail end of the peak, bucks will start getting together in bachelor groups again, but there's still some does to service, and the big boy's still going to be the one servicing. The little teenagers, they want to participate, but the big boy ain't going to let him because he's going to get his butt kicked. Mm-hmm. So Stevie just needs to go in and get him some buck urine and put it.
Trail it in there, yep.
Trail it in, make you some mock scrapes, or if you got scrapes in there, even though they're not active, make them active, and by getting your limb, raking it open, putting your buck urine in it, and if you really want to do that to kind of stir his butt up, just get you one. And do you have several scrapes close together?
Yeah, I mean he's got a property line. He's got his own property line down through there.
Yeah.
This guy owns this place.
Yeah, well, look here. Then I'd show him that. Yeah, I'd open up his master bedroom. I'd get him.
Put some old spice in there.
I'd get you go in there and open it up and get you 2 or 3 of them right there together. And if they're not close together, and when I say close together, 10, 15 yards, if they're not, take his scrape, open it up, and then make you some single scrapes in and around that scrape, and put your buck urine in there, and put you some estrus in, trail both of them in, and grunt. And
Maybe
Mike,
try.
yep,
Yeah.
and call us back and let us know what you found out on that.
All right.
Hey, listen.
All right, I'll try that.
Yeah, do that.
See, I mean, but how many days in a row am I going to have to do this?
Well, and it just depends on where he is. You can use buck urine every single day of the year. You cannot overdo that. And rule of thumb, if you can smell it good, he can smell it great. But if you got a buck like that, I wouldn't spare it. I'd put me some in there. You know, I mean, I'm serious. I tell people all the time, you know, you smell it good, he can smell it great. And load him up.
So every day that I go,
every day you go in and put buck urine with it.
I plan on getting in the stand at 4 o'clock. So every day I get there at 3 o'clock, start at the back of the property, and make scrapes all the way to my stand.
Freshen them up with buck urine.
Yeah.
Freshen them up with buck urine, and then add your estrus to it. And now you've got the full calling card, and when you grunt, you've got a buck chasing a doe. So you're telling him another buck's come in, doctored his master bedroom up, and he's got his doe in there on top of it.
Yeah.
There's still competition for them. Well, do this. Check that out. Hey, and if you ought to have a dealer near you that's got top secret, and if they don't, we're sort of like Fox News. What's that? What does old Neil Cavuto say? Demand it. If you ain't got it, tell your dealer you want them to stock top secret, or he can go to topsecretdeerscent.com.
Get it off the website.
Get it on the website. So listen.
Kill you another buck.
Yeah, you're 3. We want to go for 4.
Yeah.
And call us back and tell us what it is. You and OG know. Show everybody how it works.
I will. Thank you, sir.
Hey, you bet. Thank you for calling in.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
I've got another caller already.
Man, I'm telling you, I mean, they ain't fooling around tonight.
Yeah.
All right, let's see who we got. Do we know who we got?
Yeah, looks like Matt.
All right. Don and Steve, what we got? Who we got on the phone? Matt?
It's Matthew Houston, sir.
Yes, sir. Now, Matt, you're in Aberdeen, Washington?
That is correct.
Washington State. West Coast.
Sure.
West Coast.
Yep.
All right. Are you from there?
Originally, yeah. We just moved back from Pennsylvania
Oh.
to Washington not 3 months ago.
Well, I know you're not missing all that 1,000,000+ hunters, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Not one bit.
Yeah,
We just talked to one.
Yeah, just talked to a boy in Pennsylvania. Hey, and listen, all 1,000,001 of them, I bet you hunted on the same road you did, didn't they?
Oh, I'm sure.
I guarantee you.
Sure.
It looks like a pumpkin patch when season opens. It's the beatingest thing I've ever seen in my life. Matt, what kind of question you got?
Well, my question for you is, does a mature buck use the same set of scrape lines he made during pre-rut for post-rut for a doe that came back into estrus? Or will he abandon those?
No, he won't abandon them, but he's not so much, Steve, working them. Once, just before the peak, what you've got, Matt, is they're making those scrapes, they're checking them. They're wanting does to come to them. Then in full-blown peak of the rut, they're just everywhere. They're crossing through their house and their master bedroom and checking their master bedroom. And when I say check, you ain't got to go up there and just look in it. Mm-hmm. Now, having said that, if the wind's blowing, some hunters don't want any wind, and I hate hunting in wind. Steve and I, we were up in Pennsylvania the other day, and it doesn't bother Steve a bit in the world, but
Illinois,
what did I say, Pennsylvania? Illinois. I don't like hunting in the wind, but wind is a good thing because it moves scent. So you're up there in Washington State. I'm trying to think if are you bow hunting?
I hunt Pennsylvania and Illinois every year. See, I travel back every December, and we do a 2-week hunt up there.
Where are you hunting in Pennsylvania?
Near Hollidaysburg.
Okay. Illinois?
Illinois. We usually go down by Pike County. I'm not sure where we're going this year, but it's probably the same geographic location.
Yeah, I mean, we were just in, what county was that?
McDonough.
McDonough County. I think we're just north of Pike, actually, Hancock,
Yeah.
McDonough. Good place. But the answer to your question is, as a general rule, no general rule, in the peak of the rut, they're moving. And, they'll cross through that master bedroom, but they're looking for a doe. They're going to follow that doe. He may start in his master bedroom. He may wind up over there 3 blocks in somebody else's master bedroom because he's only following the doe. Having said that, toward the peak, the post rut, as it winds down, he can, those bucks will kind of start getting back into a routine, and the lesser bucks will start aggravating that. But that big buck, he's still looking for any doe. So I don't hide from them as long as I got scrapes. That's where I'd be loading them up. But
Okay.
You bow hunting or gun hunting?
Bow. Yep, I use my bow.
If you're going to be up in hardwood, he's up in Pike County though. You got a lot of hardwood still. You're hunting hard. You hunting edge of cornfields and stuff up there.
There is.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just trying to see what's the right thing to tell you on the back end of that. Really depends on if he's. I think bottom line is yes. I'd hunt them scrapes and I'd doctor them up.
Start juicing them up late season for like a post rut.
Yeah, because if anything else, if they're not on a doe, they're going to cruise back through there.
Well, I tell you what, Don, about 7 or 8 years ago, I was in Illinois, first week of January, it's late, and I used some, and I killed a 8-point, and he was coming in a younger doe cycling back in.
That's right.
And he was trailing her. So, it's...
If you trail back in like that...
And that was January in Illinois.
January in Illinois.
Yeah.
And you're going when, Matt? You're going up in December?
We'll be December 12th through the 14th.
Yeah. Look, if a buck's not on a doe, a buck's he's gonna check his path. He's gonna check his bedroom. He's gonna check his scrapes. And if not, lesser bucks are. So you're gonna have activity on that because it's a good runway. Deer don't put scrapes somewhere just because it's not. It's good real estate. Either good runs or near bedding areas. So all of that plays in at the same time. So doctor those scrapes up. Get you some buck urine. Have you ever tried any Top Secret?
I have not.
Hey,
listen. To try it.
Yeah, listen. Of course, you're out there in Washington State. I don't know out in Washington. You can check the website and see if we've got a dealer out in Washington State. But if not, hey, Matt, you can get on the you can go to topsecretdeerscent.com and get your scent. But if you do, get you some buck urine with your estrus and doctor the scrapes up with buck urine and then add the estrus to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey, and it don't matter if you use foam or estrus. Foam or liquid. Either one, we have both. And we got a lot of callers calling in tonight doing this. Hey, call us back and let us know how this works for you.
Yeah, and send us some pictures.
Okay.
You get that big boy.
Yeah.
I certainly will.
Hey,
I will surely do that.
Hey, call us back and say, hey, I talked to you last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and you were talking about this, and man, you were a nut. That didn't work at all. Or
I killed that old big.
Yeah, or I killed that big old buck. Either way, call us back. Yeah. And look, hey guys, you know that we're just telling you the truth. As a general rule, this is what bucks do.
Yeah.
And
right.
And so just think of yourself as that predator, and use you a little aid, which is called Top Secret Buck Urine and Estrus, and help you kill that old boy. Hey, don't forget to grunt with him. Hey, listen, we appreciate you calling in, and calling in all the way from Washington, Aberdeen, Washington. All right, be careful. Send us some pictures there.
I certainly will. You guys take care.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks for calling in.
Right.
Washington State.
We got another call. We got another call coming in.
Doggone. All right, let's catch us another one right here. Don Bell, Steve, who you got?
Hey, how's it going? It's Travis Edmond.
Travis Edmond. Big Travis, you in the Navy?
Yes, sir, I am.
Well, man, we appreciate your service, big dog. How old are you?
24.
24.
Right.
24 years old, and I think you know somebody who works for us, don't you?
Yes, sir, sure do.
I bet you do. And do you know her name?
Shelby.
Shelby, that's right, customer service. And tell the folks real quick what you out there doing. Right now. You're in where? Texas.
I'm stationed Corpus Christi, Texas.
24 years old. What you doing?
Right.
What are you out there preparing to do?
We're getting ready. I'm finishing up flight school with the Navy. I'm about to get my wings and go fly for the Navy.
Man, we appreciate that. Hey, listen, son, we really do, Travis, and that's what this country's built on, is young men like you. And you're certainly capable of flying a $100 million jet. You're certainly capable of being able to go kill old buck. And, well, look, what's your question tonight?
Well, I was looking for
24.
Doing archery hunting in South Texas during the rut. The best way to pull a buck, a nice trophy buck away from the does and get him in close for a shot.
He's in South Texas. What county are you in? You're in South Texas?
Yeah, I'm in Nueces County.
You down there where everybody hunts feeders. You hunting over a feeder?
No, I'm not. It's on public land.
Okay, well listen, that's all right. I mean, believe it or not, it's tough to kill a big buck over a feeder.
Yeah.
People think they put a feeder out and they're gonna kill a big buck. It's actually harder, or it's hard.
They're on that much more alert on those things.
They come in paranoid, don't they?
It's tough.
And sorry, now you're hunting South Texas. I mean, are you still in Mesquite?
Yeah.
All right. Thick. Yeah, you're hunting.
Right.
I mean, if you're hunting a mesquite, it's flat where you are.
Yeah.
Right. And so you're not hunting over feeders. Are you finding any trails where you are? Yeah, it's just flat. Everything.
Yeah, there's definitely some trails there.
Yeah. It's just
Is it ground blinds?
Yeah. You hunting a ground.
blind.
Yeah, you're hunting a ground blind.
Yeah.
You bow hunting or gun?
The bow.
Bow hunting.
Hunting.
Have you hunted this place before?
No, I just moved out there just a couple months ago, so this is my first season out there trying to figure out this place.
Have you hunted it before?
No, not yet.
In other words, this is the first time you're fixing to go hunt it. Have you had a chance to do any scouting on it?
Yeah, I've done some scouting. Looks like there's good signs of some movement out there along the trail line.
Yeah, I mean, if he's hunting a trail, look, guys, it doesn't matter if you're in Mesquite in South Texas or if you're hunting the hardwoods up in Pike County, Illinois, or if you're hunting the swamps down here in South Alabama and North Florida. A trail's a trail. Now, the only difference you got to watch out there where you are is those bucks can have some nice racks or what looks like big racks on a smaller buck. Walking through mesquite looks like a moose, and ain't that right? And some of them boys go out there in South Texas gonna go on them paid hunts, and that buck comes by. Next thing you know, they pop out a boy and get up there to him, and they take the breath because he ain't near as big as he thought he was. But now where you're hunting, Travis, there's some big deer down there now.
Some big boys.
You're hunting in some fine property down there. Anywhere in South Texas down there is good. You're not anywhere near the King Ranch, are you?
I'm not right now, no.
All right. Well,
Are they starting to chase down there?
Yeah. Are you? You really start seeing bucks chase does around Christmas time where you are, aren't you?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
about mid to late December. So
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So what you want to do, if you scout, you've already got your ground blind. Are you putting your ground blind out and hunting, or do you have it stationary and you're going to hunt?
I've been. I haven't actually hunted this spot yet, but it's going to be stationary.
Well, what I mean is, are you going to take the blind in with you and set it up as you hunt that day and take it out, or is it one already there that you put there and you're going to hunt a trail?
I'm going to hunt a trail. I'm putting the
Brush it
blind
in.
there stationary.
All right, so you got all right, great. So then, if you're going to do that, then how far from where you park your truck to walk to where you're going?
I usually like to walk about a mile.
Once you get in, I mean, obviously, Kill Your Human Odor, and boy, does Top Secret have something for you coming up.
Especially South Texas.
But we can't tell you about it, unfortunately, till January, because it's a 2015 product. But Travis, Kill Your Human Odor, and once you get within a few hundred yards of where you're gonna do, then start putting you some take you some foam. His situation would be good with foam.
Yeah, some buck.
Travis, can you see this? These products. Can you see the show? What I have here is buck urine foam.
Okay.
What this is estrus, and literally this foam is perfect for when you walk in. You can take it and just walk in, buck in one hand, estrus in the other, and just foam it as you walk in. Estrus, buck. Estrus, buck. Start 500-600 yards where you're going, and then when you get in your blind, wait a little bit, grunt off and on, and you're down there in South Texas. Do you rattle any?
Yeah, I've been rattling some.
Listen,
That'd be perfect.
Travis, everybody tells you to use estrus. Listen to what I'm telling you now. You're in South Texas. First of all, you're lucky to be hunting South Texas.
Competition down there.
That's what you want to put. If you rattle, you want buck urine. You rattle is an infringement. And you're in the best place in this country to rattle a deer. You can rattle a deer in South Texas, and this camera is sitting 5-6 foot from us. I've rattled deer in Texas on film and come up in 10 steps of me. And us sitting there, the camera running, and us rattling. Me literally rattling, sitting there, and him seeing me rattling and being 10 steps. Because they're so focused on it, and that's a Texas phenomenon, that is. You can rattle that little boy right in on top of you, as long as you just keep rattling. Because he's fixated on the smell and the sight. He's not paying attention to you. He's just geared up. He just wants a piece of whatever it is. Yeah. Get you some foam and get you some estrus about 500-600 yards once you get in. You need to kill that human odor.
Yeah,
and then
start hitting
and going in and grunt and rattle with it. Make sure you load it up with buck urine. And look, we got a mess of callers tonight doing this. Call us back, Travis. It's you're in when are we? November?
Yeah. Email us a picture of that big boy.
Hey, when you going hunting next?
I'm going hunting hopefully next weekend.
All right. Well, listen. Keep us updated. Obviously, keep us updated. Keep Shelby updated what you're doing out there, and get you some buck urine and stuff. And again, if you ain't got a dealer out there in South Texas that has Top Secret, all they got to do is do what?
Call customer service.
Yeah, call Shelby, or hit the Top Secret, topsecretdeerscent.com, and you can order whatever you want. So hey, appreciate your service. 24, we're proud of you, and hey, because you do what you do, we get to do what we do, and we appreciate it, man. We really do. Hey, where are you from originally?
From Gainesville, Florida.
All right, man.
All right, Big Gator.
Travis, we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You bet. Thank you.
Much.
Thank you for your service, son. Thank you.
Pleasure.
You bet. Our pleasure.
All right, Don, take a breath. We got another call.
We got another caller? Dog. All right.
We got Brad. Rockford, Michigan? Or is that?
Brad. All right.
Here he is.
They're pointing at the phone. Answer the phone. All right, you got Don, Bill, and Steve. What we got?
This is Brian Murray from Michigan.
Is it Brian or Brad?
Brian.
Brian.
Okay, Brian.
All right, Brian. Rockford, Michigan. Where's that in the state? What you near?
It's central Michigan, just north of Grand Rapids.
All right, so you're Grand Rapids. You're south or north of Jay's, the original store?
South.
All right, you south. Okay.
Got any snow up there right now?
Yeah. Steve wants to know if you got snow up there.
Oh yeah, we got about 2 feet of snow in the last 3 days.
Man.
Really? You know that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
The only thing we got white down here is the beach. Hey, now listen, you laugh.
I'll be visiting the beach for a while here.
I was talking to somebody in Minnesota today, and he was telling me a couple feet of snow like you're talking about, and I told him that. And I said, the only thing white is we got snow. And literally, as you were sitting here, and this will make you feel good, how far are we from the beach?
Oh, about 30 minutes.
Just a few miles, and that's with traffic. But the way the crow flies, we're what?
Shoot.
15 miles from the Gulf. So, but hey, man, you're in some good hunting up there.
Yeah, some big bucks.
What kind of question you got, Brian?
No, I was just wondering if there's any specific way I should hunt during the heavy snowfall. You know, the rut has been going good, and then we just got hit with this heavy snow. And most of the guys I hunt with and talk to, they don't even bother going out during the snow. I was just wondering if there was any specifics I should think about.
Yep, there is. First of all, you're in the Midwest. You're on the tail end of the peak of the rut, and what you have there in the Midwest, Steve, and Brian, you know this. Typically, deer toward the end of season, and certainly after the close of season, will yard up. What you guys, Brian, call yarding up. They'll get on that. They'll get on that south side of those ridges and those hills, and they'll get together, and they'll congregate together. And that's the reason why, you know, up there you guys go shed hunting, and you find a shed, you find a bunch of sheds. Down here we don't get to do that. It's so thick down here that, you know, you starve to death if you had to try to eat off a shed.
Yeah.
So in this tough weather like that, they're starting to do that. They'll do that on you, Brian. So when everybody else is, that's a good thing. A deer can only stay bedded so long. They got to eat. So it doesn't matter if it's 3 foot of snow on the ground. They can't stay bedded forever.
Like to me, they'd have to work harder.
Yeah, they will. Now they'll bed ahead of a front and maybe on the tail end of it, but they got to eat, so they're going to get up and move. So the fact that no one else is hunting, that's great for you. But get on those south. Is it still snowing, or is it just cold now?
No, it's still snowing right now. Actually, they're actually they're calling for rain this weekend, so it's gonna be a big mess.
Oh yeah, baby. If they're calling for rain, I'd be hunting ahead of that rain.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'd get on. Hey, I'd get on.
after it.
Yes, sir. I'd get on that south side of that where they're already congregating to get out of that wind. I mean, just common sense says get out of the wind, and they're congregating, and I'd go hunt ahead of that rain because they're going to get up and move. They got to. Do you use any kind of scent or any kind of? Do you grunt anything?
I've been doing grunts and the doe bleat can, and just really no success with any of that. As of yet, I had a small buck and a doe bed down in the soybean field by me, but they didn't even respond to a call at all.
Yeah. What size buck was it? Little young?
It was just a spike.
Yeah, a little young buck.
Tall spike, but.
On the tail end there.
Yeah,
the tail end.
they're on the tail end.
They're on the tail end of the rut.
Yeah, the peak of the rut. Well, let's see, Brian. You're grunting and you're rattling, but what about your? Are you using any kind of buck urine with it? Any kind of scent?
Just a doe urine.
All right. Well, think about this. When you grunt, you're telling a buck another buck's tending a doe, which grunting is an infringement. So the buck goes downwind. What you need to be able to do is to use buck urine. Get you some buck urine, and you need to use it all the way. And we preach this on this show. And notice, it doesn't matter what part of the country you're from. We just talked with a guy in Washington, all over Texas, everywhere.
Pennsylvania.
They need to be using buck urine.
Yeah.
And so get you some buck urine. You still got time up there. Season goes out when?
Well, gun season ends November 30th, but then we got archery that comes back and muzzleloader as well. So
you really don't go out till...
We got till January, so...
Oh, wow, you got a long time.
Yeah, man, listen. Good, solid investment.
Yeah.
Get you some buck urine. And, you know, Jay's carries our product up there. A bunch of stores up there in Michigan carries Top Secret. You know, and if they don't...
the website.
Yeah, if they don't, first of all, tell them you want them to stock it. And if not, hey, meanwhile, while they're getting it in, you can always hit the website. Just go to topsecretdeerscent.com and you can get your product from the website. But get you some buck urine. You got plenty of season left to do that. And
get in the woods before that rain hits. That's
right. Oh, absolutely hunt ahead of that rain coming in. It's coming in when, first of the week?
I think it's coming in Sunday, so...
Can you hunt during the week?
I hunt. Yeah, that's the only time I can hunt is during the week. I work on the weekends, so.
Oh man,
okay.
I hate that, dog. You in good shape up there. Get you some buck urine. Listen, really, Brian, get you some buck urine. You got plenty of season left yet to do it. And the difference in Top Secret, it's oxygen free, but more importantly, it's saying you got a buck there right now. And the fact that you got 2 foot of snow, all that's doing is keeping hunters out, not deer from moving. A deer's going to move.
Right.
And he may bed down ahead of that. He's going to feed ahead of that front, and during the front hitting, he may bed down for a while. But after that, he's got to get up and eat again. If he don't, he'll freeze to death.
And Brian, let us know how you do with that.
Absolutely.
Get some buck, let us know how you do. Send us a picture.
Send us a photograph, man. We got a bunch of people going to send us a photograph. Doggone, it's amazing, Brian. We're going to have to close this thing up. They're doing this to us in there. Look at it. They're already playing music. But look, we appreciate you calling in. Send us some photographs of that. Get you some buck urine. You can just go to the website, topsecretdeerscent.com. Get you some. Call us back and send us some photographs and let us know. Go to Facebook and see all the big bucks people are killing, Brian.
All right, I will do.
Hey, thank you for calling in. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. Stay warm up there, man. It's amazing, isn't it?
That's it. Hour's gone.
It's hours gone, and just, I mean, think about all the different places they've called tonight.
That's crazy.
All over the country. And folks, we appreciate it, and you learn as much as we do. And then look, as you can tell tonight, some people ask questions. We don't know. We're not going to tell you we know. We're going to tell you we don't know, because if we made it up, you know we didn't know. And so we just tell you the truth. And so we appreciate you calling in. And folks, tell everybody, get off the phone. You can see this thing. Tell everybody. Tell your friends tomorrow. Get on Facebook. Get the questions. Tell your friends. Call us back next week. What time?
Hey, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock Central Time. We'll be here.
We'll be right here, and we'll be talking to you and your friends. And we'll see you next week on Hunting the Rut with Don Bell Hotline. And we'll do it again at 7 o'clock next Thursday night. We'll see you next Thursday night. I guess we will.